You are hauling a heavy load in your diesel truck, and you notice that the power just is not there anymore. The acceleration feels sluggish, or scarier yet. You see a massive cloud of thick black smoke billowing out of your exhaust, while your engine temperatures start creeping toward the red zone. When you scan the computer and find code P3469, your rig is shouting about a high-voltage condition in the diesel particulate filter pressure sensor B circuit. This is an urgent code because ignoring it can lead to massive internal engine damage or a completely melted fuel system. If you drive a modern diesel from Chevy, Ford, or Mercedes, your exhaust has a giant steel canister called a DPEF that is designed to trap 90% of the soot particles coming out of your cylinders. To keep this filter from getting completely choked, the computer uses a pressure sensor to monitor the back pressure levels. It looks at the difference between the air going in and the air going out through two high-temperature silicon hoses connected to the filter. When that sensor designated as B sends a voltage signal that is way higher than the programmed limitations, the computer assumes the filter is dangerously full of carbon soot. Now, your truck is supposed to run a regeneration cycle where it injects diesel fuel or exhaust fluid to burn that soot off into harmless nitrogen and oxygen ions. But if that cycle fails because of a bad sensor or a clogged hose, the whole system chokes. Your first diagnostic move should be a thorough visual check under the truck for any exhaust leaks. Look at those pressure sensor hoses. They live near the blazing hot exhaust components, and it is incredibly common for them to melt, crack, or collapse. If the hoses are perfect, you need to check the sensor itself using a digital multimeter. These sensors usually work on a 5-volt reference signal from the computer. If the sensor shows zero resistance or an open loop reading, it has failed internally and is faking a high pressure reading. Do not forget to check your diesel exhaust fluid reservoir because being bone dry or having contaminated fluid can also trigger these pressure faults and inhibit the active regeneration system. Also, keep in mind that short trips around town are the absolute enemy of a diesel particulate filter because the engine never gets hot enough to clean itself naturally through passive regeneration. If you have been doing a lot of stop and go driving lately, you might just need a long highway run to force the system to clear. But if that sensor B is truly shorted out, replacing it and verifying that the ports in the exhaust are not clogged with carbon is the only way to get your truck breathing again and stop that black smoke from ruining your performance.